It's what we need. Hello and welcome to this Reiki Healing Activation free masterclass to teach you about what Reiki is, how it can support you, if you want to get certified, how to do so in a right way and a self-responsible way, as well as offering a beautiful Reiki healing activation to allow you to step into your worth and release the old paradigm of unworthiness. So today I have lots of slides to share with you. We're going to have a lot of fun. So please drop your favorite emoji or a fire emoji. That's one of my favorite ones lately in the comments if you're here watching live, so I know that you're here and that I can make sure that I see comments coming in live as well. Okay, so I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to take up a part of your day. I honor your time and your energy more than gold, and it means the world to me to have you tune into this, whether you're live or on the replay. If you're on the replay, go ahead and drop replay in the comments. I would love to learn who's interested, who wants to know more, and how I can support you along this journey. Okay, so if you are here live or on replay, go ahead and drop in the comments your experience with Reiki thus far. Have you ever heard of it? Have you ever had a Reiki session before? Maybe you're trained. If so, what lineage are you trained in and what level of training have you received? Okay, I would love to hear that. Yes, hi Beth, hi Jess. Ah, yes, the mushroom emoji. Hi Katie. Ah, such a wonderful group of people here today. I am so excited to share this magic with you, and I am so honored to talk about energy work and how we can support ourselves on all layers of our being in this way. Okay, so with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and do a little presentation, okay? If you have any questions throughout, go ahead, type them in. I'll be scrolling through and try to answer them throughout, but there will be a Q&A portion at the end in the case that you didn't get that, okay? So just to start, if you can and you're able, if you're in a seated position or standing, go ahead and grow tall through the spine. We're gonna open to grace first. So as you do so, maybe you close your eyes if that feels safe for you, or leave them slightly cracked open, staring at one unmoving point towards the earth, towards your toes. As you take an in-breath, perhaps you circle your shoulders forward and up towards your ears. Exhale, soften your shoulders back and down the spine. Let your elbows hang heavy with gravity. Lengthen through the backhand side of your neck to grow tall. And exhale, maybe you root your tailbone down into the earth below you. And take a few moments here, beginning to deepen your sway of breath. Inhaling and exhaling through your nostrils as you allow your belly to rise and fall freely. And as you breathe in, imagine carrying your breath all the way into your lower belly space, letting your abdomen expand completely. As you exhale, draw navel towards spine, rinsing out every drop you've carried in. And on your next exhale, whenever it comes out of your body, I want you to draw your awareness down into your root chakra, located at the very tip of your spine or base of your spine, or the space of the perineum. And as your awareness resides here, just noticing if you feel connected to the earth, connected into yourself. And on your next exhale, go ahead and imagine that this red, beautiful, glimmering thread is moving down through the earth below you, through the floor, down, through the layers of Mother Earth herself, down through the magma, all the way to the crystallized core. And imagine like a corkscrew that it winds in and plugs right into the center. Breathe in to being connected with Mother Earth in this way. Breathe in to your roots, to the space in which you came from, that nourishes you each and every day with breath, with water, with food. Then on an in-breath, imagine your awareness travels back up that corkscrewed, red, glittering, glimmering thread all the way up, back to your root. Exhale, settle the awareness there. On an in-breath, carry your awareness to the heart center. As you exhale, imagine your awareness circling your heart, your energetic heart, your Anahata chakra. Now, as you allow your awareness to pour into this space, notice if your heart is feeling open, if it's feeling grounded, closed off, if it's grieving, charged up, needing to refuel. Just a little check-in. And as you breathe, imagine carrying in the energy that will balance this energetic vortex within you. And on your next inhale, carry your awareness up to the space between the brows, just above it, the third eye, your Ajna chakra. And as you exhale, settle into this space. This is the home of your inner knowing, of your intuition, of your inner guide. Maybe you notice energy flowing through here, maybe not. Maybe it's just stillness. But as you breathe in here, imagine that you're breathing in trust, breathing in self-honoring, and as you exhale, allow your awareness to pour back into your heart center. Maybe your hands come to the heart, one hand overlapping the other. Maybe your hands come to heart center, prayer position or namaskar mudra. Taking a nice deep breath into the heart, opening to grace, opening to divine guidance. And I ask of you, Great Spirit, to divorce me from my ego so that I can be of greatest service and serve these people that are here with me, both live and on the replay, at the greatest possible capacity that I can. Please guide me. Allow me to be a conduit. Use me as a hollow bone for your words, your actions, your activations and transmissions that desire to come through in regard to this talk today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Aho, Omateo, and so it is. And whenever it is that you feel ready, please begin to flutter your eyelids open and welcome your awareness back to the screen. And if you feel called, please go ahead and share how that grounding was for you. I would absolutely love, love, love to hear it. And I see some other people are popping on. Hello, hello. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing our presentation. So just give me one moment. Silly computer. Let's go to the right one. Beautiful. All right. So we are going to be talking all things Reiki today. So drop a little comment if you are super excited to learn more about Reiki, about what it is, how it can support you in your journey, and how you can possibly become certified yourself, because I would love to share that with you. Yay! Hi, Jess. Hi, Katie. Hi, Dina. Oh, yes, I love it. Okay, so welcome. My name is Tori Cummings. If you didn't already know, I am a Holy Fire Reiki Master. I am a sacred and conscious business owner and a medicine woman. And I'm going to be guiding you through our masterclass today. And as I just mentioned, my name is Tori, but ultimately, the codes and frequencies that I carry within me is that I am an ancient priestess. I know that my soul was crafted in the underworld, and I have been around since ancient Egypt, and I have been born into this world once again to share these codes and uplift the world to step into a deeper level of consciousness. So if you're with me and you're down with that, drop a little green heart emoji, because I am so down for people that are ready to awaken and step into their power. And I am a Reiki master. I've been practicing Reiki for well over 7 years. I absolutely love it with all of my heart. And that was what woke me up into my spiritual journey. In addition to that, I am a sacred business owner. What does that mean? Ultimately, I am someone who is creating a business to give back to the world, create nonprofits, support Mother Nature, and not just for having capital, right? Not just calling money my way, but to help redistribute wealth in a really beautiful and profound way. So if you're down with that, go ahead and drop a little money emoji. Yes, I love all the green hearts coming through. Yes, Katie, I'm so glad. Dancing with energy is so fun too. I am also a medicine woman. I have spent years studying herbalism and working with entheogenic. Oh my goodness, I can never say that word properly when I'm on video. Every other time it's fine. But ultimately, working with sacred plant medicines. And I am a holistic health practitioner. So you might have seen me share about Reiki sessions or bodywork sessions or yoga. This has been my journey as I continue to open my heart and share with different methodologies and teachings that I learn along the way. So, what qualifies me to be sharing this with you today? Right? I have been trained and practicing Reiki for over 7 years with my wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Reiki master who I hold near and dear to my heart. Her name is Natalie Imbier. I absolutely adore her, and she has helped me step into this work, and I honor her dearly for that. And I am also a successful sacred and conscious business owner with a thriving practice. So throughout COVID, throughout the pandemic, not only did tons of yoga studios and wellness hub spaces close and people had to stop offering sessions, but I was able to keep my practice going, to keep my wellness hub open and create a beautiful, thriving practice with both in-person and online sessions after the mandatory shutdown period of time, right? And I have been doing shadow work and deep transformational work for over 10 years. And I have thousands of hours invested in learning new skills, in training in different modalities, and training further in Reiki and studying it deeper, as well as learning various techniques in the realm of energy work. And I also offer profoundly transformative and powerful sessions with my clients as an intuitive channel. I'll get a little bit deeper into that as we go forward. But yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that all of you are down with this new earth wealth redistribution. It's going to be so, so good. And especially as healers and change agents and visionaries of the world, we are the ones that are going to be out doing this work and redistributing the wealth. And my amazing coach and mentor, Robin Rivera, also just shared with me that the Dalai Lama said that the Western woman is going to be the one that changes the world and causes that wealth redistribution. So all in all, I know we're going to make a really big impact in the world. So with that being said, I have to ask a few permissions first. Okay, so if you're with me, I'll ask you to drop an emoji in just a minute, but ultimately, I'm a little quirky. I'm my own self. I show up as I am because that's just me. I like to share my playfulness, my just fun, uplifting, bright energy. So I have some of my own quirks, and that's just me. But do I have your permission there? okay? Just to be me, show up quirky, make mistakes. I'm human, right? And I have a bit of a potty mouth. Scientific research does show that when you swear, it just means that you're really honest. And that is something that I've realized about myself. I'm a swearer, okay? So I might have a little bit of a potty mouth. Is that cool with you? I might get a little woo-woo or shamanic, for lack of a better term. I ultimately practice by following my intuitive channel. And that means I might ask you to do some things. You might be like, is she inside of my head right now? A lot of the times inside my sessions and offerings, they think I can read their minds and I know what's going on in their world. Sometimes I do. But ultimately, I might get a little wonky. I might get a little shamanic, might do some things that are interesting. Is that cool? And I might mesh my words together or mispronunciate them. Ultimately, I have a brain that tends to move too fast for the level that I can speak at. And I also grew up, I had hearing issues and I was deaf for a few years. So sometimes the way I pronunciate things is a little off. Is that okay? Cool with you? If so, drop a little emoji. Yes. I love the fuck yeah. Yes, Jessica. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you. And then we can get started. The warmest welcome. And since I respect your time and look at it as something that I highly value, greater than gold, I want you to know that you're in the right place in order to attend this webinar, okay? And this amazing masterclass. So you're in the right place if you desire to learn about energy work, or if you are intrigued or obsessed with the mystical and the mysterious, or if you felt drawn to be a healer or share healing with yourself or loved ones. This is also for you if you have felt like the black sheep in your life, whether in your family or just growing up. Maybe you felt really different and you have this different perspective of life that others didn't necessarily understand. This class could be for you. Or if you desire to raise the vibration of the world and step into this new earth paradigm to raise the vibration of all the beings here. And it's also for you if you are currently in your own process of healing and want to know other ways to support yourself. Or if you simply feel called to learn more. Sometimes Reiki just calls you, as it did me. I'll share a little bit more about my path in just a moment, but sometimes it just calls you. You don't necessarily know the whys or the hows, but it's just calling to you and you're heeding the call. This is absolutely for you if that's the case. Katie, I love that I make you feel normal. It's so, so good. Beautiful. Okay. So this is what we're going to be covering today. We're going to be covering what is Reiki. We're going to be talking about how does Reiki work, why to utilize Reiki in our lives, how we can get certified to share it, and then we'll go into our Reiki Healing Activation and we'll do a little Q&A. All right. So just to start, I want to share a little bit about my own journey with Reiki and how I fell into it, because it was literally just that. Throughout my younger years, my late teen years, I would go around. I was a huge festival goer. I loved going to festivals and connecting in with really like-minded, grounded, beautiful souls. With that, when I would connect in with people, they would be like, "Are you attuned to Reiki?" And I'd be like, "No, actually, but I get asked that all the time." And then with that, people kept mentioning it and mentioning it. And so it was always in front of me, always at the forefront of my brain. And after high school, I became a dance teacher. I grew up with a dancing background. Many of you that know me know this, but I've been dancing since I was age 2. Okay, so ultimately, right out of high school, I started teaching and I went and into work, and my boss's mom, the wonderful Natalie Imbier, who is my Reiki master, I was putting my tap shoes on, getting ready to teach class, and she goes, "Tori, I don't know why I feel called to share this with you, but I have a Reiki training next weekend. Do you want to come? And that was when I was in college. I was working 3 to 4 jobs every week. And ultimately, I just felt called to go. I look at my calendar, the 2 weekends that she's running it, completely free. And that was not my reality. My weekends were always booked. So the fact that these 2 weekends were open and available, I knew that it was my calling. And I have full body chills when sharing this. I went. I did it and I signed up and I absolutely fell in love and woke the fuck up. Okay. So ultimately, when I stepped into my training or my initiation, what happened was wild for me. And I had this really big awakening and felt my third eye literally open and spiral open into this whole new world. So that could be you too. It's a really beautiful and potent transformational practice. And once you step onto the path of Reiki, if you become trained in it to be a practitioner, the journey never ends. Okay, it's a really beautiful thing. And I'm so excited to share more with you about it. But what is Reiki? Reiki is ultimately a form of energy work. What does it mean? When you break the word Reiki up, Rei means spiritual wisdom and Ki means life energy. So you combine that, and Reiki is spiritually guided life force energy. Life force energy is also known as prana, ki, chi. There's so many different words for it. Different traditions say different things, but ultimately it's what keeps us alive, right? So it is one form of energy work out of many. There are many different forms of energy work, but Reiki is on its own a different form of energy work than a lot of other people practice. If they say that they're a Reiki practitioner, then that falls into this category. If they say just an energy worker, it might be a different lineage of a different practice. Okay. Not all healers use it. Like I just mentioned, some people might be trained or ordained or initiated into something else that is similar but different in itself. There are many forms of Reiki. You might hear of different ones. Okay, today we're going to be talking about Holy Fire Reiki, which is one of the newer forms of Reiki, but it is really potent, purifying, and transformative. Yet you might hear Usui. You might hear Karuna, shamanic, okay? And then there's tons of other ones too. Those are just like the main ones, and that's why I bring those up. So you might know those. Maybe, maybe not. If you do know of a lineage or you're trained in a lineage, go ahead and drop it in the comments below. I would love to know where you're at with it. Yes, I love all these comments. Beautiful. So, with that being said, what is it in general? It is a gentle yet potent form of healing. So when I say gentle, it means that it doesn't cause a lot of pain or discomfort in the body. What it does in regard to that, the only pain I've actually had during a session when I was receiving, whether from myself or someone else, is if there is a digestive blockage and Reiki dislodges it. Just like when, you have something going on in your digestive system, sometimes it's not the most comfortable thing, right? So sometimes when it shifts that, it's not the coziest, but all in all, that's the only pain or discomfort that I've really felt inside of a Reiki session. But other than that, it is very gentle, potent, and transformative. So Reiki sends loving, purifying, clearing energy into the body, and it ultimately just goes to the places in which you need it most. We'll dive deeper into that though, okay? And it works through the energetic body or the ethereal body or etheric body, okay? Yes, Melissa, I'm so excited you just got trained in level 2. That's so exciting. Thanks for making it, Jessica, and I hope you can watch the rest on replay. And ultimately, when it comes to the energetic body, what are we talking about? If you've ever practiced yoga or tuned in to any type of Eastern philosophy, you might have heard of the chakras, the energetic vortexes that lie on our central energy line or our Sushumna Nadi. The nadis, just like I said, the Sushumna Nadi, that is our main energy line, and that might be the only one you know. But there are thousands. They believe that there are over 72,000 nadis in the body, and these are energetic veins, right? They're not something that you can dissect a cadaver and go into and see, right? They are on the energetic level. You can feel into these. And if you end up getting to that point, it feels very interesting to tune into them sometimes. And then the meridians. The meridians are used in traditional Chinese medicine. If you've ever had acupuncture, acupressure done, this is the methodology that they move through, right? So a little bit different than yogic philosophy, but pretty much on the same page, right? So the meridians is also what Reiki moves through. Also, Reiki was something that started, at least when it was coined Reiki, it started in Japan. So they use a lot of the traditional Chinese medicine terms inside of it. And then another part of the energetic body is the aura. And the aura is that bubble, that energetic bubble that's around us. The best way to explain this to someone that might not know about the aura is, have you ever gone to walk up to someone and you physically felt repelled? If so, drop a yes, me in the comments, because ultimately, if that has happened to you and you've been walking up to someone, you feel like you bounced off of something, you're like, I'm gonna go the other way. That means that you were repelled by their energetic field or their aura. Maybe their vibration was too low for you to actually meet, or maybe it was too high. Depends on where we were at in our days, right? So there's so many different ways to notice the aura, but the aura is a huge part in what we're dealing with in regard to Reiki. So let me know, do any of you see auras? Anyone feel auras? I would love to know your current level of experience in regard to the energetic system. So please do feel free to share if you feel called. And ultimately, Reiki can be used alongside medical care. We'll go deeper into this in a little bit, but it's been used in hospitals for quite some time, all throughout Massachusetts. I say that because that's where I'm located, and throughout the country too. But it really originated when they started using it in medical fields in Japan, early on in the practice too. Another wonderful thing about Reiki is it can never cause harm, right? There are tons of different things that can cause harm in regard to energy work. You might have had a bad experience with an energy worker before. You might have had a bad experience with a shaman before. And that's because they have to be really fucking aware of their shit in order to make sure that no harm is done to you, right? They can't be putting their own stuff or projecting their own stuff onto you. So it's really important to know that Reiki can never cause harm. Even if the person that you're working with doesn't have the best or most pure-hearted intentions, it can never cause harm to you, your energy, your field at all. Yes. Oh, beautiful. I love that some of you can see auras. That's phenomenal. But ultimately, you might be able to see some of the imbalances that come into auras, but we'll be getting deeper into that in a few minutes. And Reiki, as I mentioned before, it cleanses, it purifies, and it heals, not only on a physical level, on the physical layer of the body, but also the mental, emotional layer and the energetic layer. And anyone that is coming with an open mind and an open heart has the ability to learn Reiki, which is the most beautiful thing. And if you have any questions further in regard to what Reiki is, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I would love to know. And yeah, honestly, I see some of you sharing that you felt uncomfortable around certain individuals and now you know why, but in that moment you didn't. Yeah, that's it. You weren't down with their frequency. You weren't down with their energy and you realize that. And that's beautiful. That's a wonderful thing to be aware of. Maybe it's not at a conscious level yet, but having it at a subconscious level, having that awareness is profound too. So, in regard to this and what Reiki is, right? Oh, come on, let me click on that. Beautiful. Holy Fire Reiki is the Reiki that I currently practice. I used to be aligned and ignited into or attuned into the Usui lineage. And as I continued to practice and as these new downloads came into William Lee Rand, who I'll be sharing with you in a moment, I became attuned in Holy Fire Reiki. I felt very drawn to it. It felt more potent and more powerful and poignant than Usui. And I love it with all of my heart. And like I said before, it's the newest form of Reiki that was introduced from the International Center of Reiki in 2014. So you might have not heard of it, especially if you studied years ago and became attuned, or maybe you're just finding Reiki and most of what you see is Usui or Karuna, XYZ. There are so many different forms. But ultimately, William Lee Rand, when working with his spiritual advisor, received this new download, this new level of Reiki through Christ consciousness or through Jesus energy. Now, when I say that, I don't want you to get freaked out because you don't have to be religious. You don't have to worship Jesus or Christ energy at all in order to utilize this. I'm not going to lie to you. You might have some discomfort coming up in regard to that statement, but just know that it's okay. We aren't devoting this practice to God. We aren't devoting this practice to any specific deity or anything like that. It is just asking the divine, asking energy to move through you so that you can offer it either to yourself, to your family, your friends, or even your animals. Okay, so with that being said, Holy Fire Reiki is noticeably more refined and it comes from a higher level of consciousness. What does that mean? There are different levels of heaven. Okay, this is something that we cover inside of the Reiki trainings themselves, but just so you know, there's 12 levels. Okay, and in regard to that, the Holy Fire Reiki comes from a higher level of heaven that the Usui or the Karuna or any other form of Reiki has previously come from. So ultimately, all of the ascended masters, we're talking Mary Magdalene, Jesus, Ganesh, Buddha, all of these beautiful deities came together and offered this down to William Lee Rand for him to share it because he is the head of the International Center of Reiki. So ultimately, it was just a little gift that he was given to share with the entire Reiki community, which is so beautiful and so potent. And when I say it's more refined, it is so potent and powerful. Now, don't get me wrong, when I used to offer sessions, my hands used to definitely get warm and tingly, but now I literally have clients, and it always cracks me up. I have clients all the time literally be like, can I see your hands? Where are your hand warmers? Like, I need to feel, like, are you hiding them in your sleeves? Like, people have literally made me like open up my sweatshirt sleeves. I'm like, nope, it's literally just what is coming through. That's the Reiki energy. So it can get very warm. I've gotten sweaty in sessions just because it can get really hot. But it allows these imbalances, these impurities within your body to melt away, to burn away. That's why it's called Holy Fire Reiki. It's like these little flames are burning away these imbalances within you. It's so potent. It's so transformative. It's truly, truly incredible. And not only is it more refined, but it spontaneously provides guidance that is palpable for every level of experience. So when you, if you choose, become attuned to Reiki or ignited into Holy Fire Reiki, it continues to guide you. It continues to heal, to ease the edges or smooth the edges or the corners within your being so that you heal ongoing in your journey. It also heals deeply and quickly without distress. I've had people have really crazy, powerful, transformative experiences in 1, 2, 3, or 4 sessions. It really depends on how much self-work they've done, how much work they'll do in between, and how open and willing they come to receive in a session. And if this is landing with you, go ahead and drop just a little fire emoji. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. But if you have any questions here, let me know. Yes, beautiful. Now, how does Reiki work? This is really important to know because this is a question I get all the time in regard to like, what is this practice? I have no idea, but I'm drawn to it. I want to do a session. Well, ultimately, Reiki is life force energy. It is prana. It is ki, right? Or chi. There are so many different names that it can go by. And as humans, that's what moves through us to keep us alive. And this ki flows through pathways, like I mentioned before, through the chakras, through the meridians, through the nadis. It also moves through all of our vital organs and tissues in order to make sure that we are able to move, we're able to do what we want, and we have that energy to be able to exert it outwards, right? So it moves through every part of our being. Right now, I'm using ki, life force energy, to speak, to deliver this message in this masterclass to you, right? So with that being said, ki also flows through our energetic field or our aura. And when we have free and balanced flow of healthy ki, it is the cause of our well-being. Now, when we have what is called bio-ki, I don't like to usually use these terms, but they are in regard to Reiki. This is what we call unhealthy energy in this practice, okay? Or unbalanced energy, imbalanced energy, right? I don't like to call things good or bad, but ultimately unhealthy energy within the body is called bio-ki. And what it does is Reiki dislodges those blockages or disruptions or that bio-ki in the flow of our ki so that we can come into a better state of well-being and have a healthy flow of ki. Ki is also responsive to thoughts and feelings. So when you have those negative emotions, that sends feelings throughout your body, right? So when you allow yourself to come in for Reiki and receive a session or perhaps become trained in it, what you're doing is inviting in those negative feelings and emotions to literally burn away. It's really beautiful and potent. And in regard to Reiki sessions, I usually tell my clients upkeep is coming in once a month for a session, or once every other month, in order to make sure that you stay balanced and aligned within your energetic field, within your physical body, and support your mental health. It's amazing for stress relieving. Oh, we're going to go deeper into that though, so no worries. But ultimately, Reiki increases the flow of healthy ki, decreases the flow of bio-ki because it supports the health of it, and breaks up any stagnation or blockages that might be held within your body due to scenarios, situations, old traumas, past lives, so many different things. Yes. And Reiki literally raises the vibratory level in and around your body and being. Pretty crazy, right? But if you've ever looked at a frequency chart, if you haven't, make sure you go check one out after this class. But a frequency chart will show you the potency and the power of working on your frequency. And if this is a little woo-woo for you, don't worry about it. Check it out, see if it aligns with you, but it totally makes sense, right? You'll get it once you look into it. And now, why Reiki? Reiki offers whole body healing, not only the physical body, but also the mental, emotional body and the energetic body. And the beautiful thing about Reiki is wherever the practitioner lays their hands on you, the Reiki energy is going to go to the place that needs it the most. Whether it's close to the hands or far away, it's going to go to the places that need it most. It also addresses the mind, the body, and the soul. So it focuses on all aspects of well-rounded healing, because we know, some people may be in denial of it, but we know that we need to focus on holistic healing in order to make sure that we are in a good space within our mind, bodies, and our hearts, right? And just so you know, we might go a little bit after 5 p.m., okay? Because I want to give you a really potent transmission too. We have a few more things to cover. And when it comes to Reiki sessions, when you go ahead and go into one, not only is it calming and de-stressing to the mind and helps to literally burn away excess chatter and thoughts, but it also can allow you to tap into your spiritual gifts. I have so many clients that come in and they'll like come back and they're like, I saw this whole vision. I saw these colors, these sacred geometry, like figures just moving and circling. There are so many things that can come through. Some people hear voices of their ancestors, of their family members, and they just have wonderful, potent experiences. So it's really beautiful. You can have so many different things occur in a session. And it can feel very different. Sometimes it feels really warming. Sometimes it feels cooling. You can get some tingly sensations. I almost explained one of them, like almost like it's asleep, but not the painful part of it, right? And sometimes you get jolts of energy to move through you. It really dislodges something and you feel it just move. And it dispels imbalances in the auric field. This is so crucial and important because when we become ill, it doesn't just immediately come into our body and then we're ill, right? What happens is that illnesses infiltrate our auric field, right? And when it infiltrates the auric field, then it slowly creeps or quickly creeps, depending on where you're at, to get into the body. Now, this happens, back in reference to the frequency chart, this happens when we lower our frequency, right? It doesn't always happen consciously. Sometimes shit happens, life happens, and our frequency lowers. Maybe we had a really shitty day, a lot of stuff came up, maybe we got really angry or frustrated, or we're just kind of down in the dumps. It's normal. We're human. We have our emotions and we move through them, right? But sometimes that's when an illness can infiltrate the auric field, right? Don't mind me. This piece of hair is really bothering me. But it begins in the aura. And this is why Reiki and energy work are so crucial in treating the whole system. And ultimately, it then can help push those imbalances out of the auric field so that it can never infiltrate your body or reach the body. Once again, it can never cause harm because Reiki respects free will. So if you're someone that thinks I'm talking all woo-woo voodoo right now, that's okay. Reiki probably wouldn't go into you because you aren't believing in it, right? And if you truly, truly, truly do not believe in it, if you do not want it to enter your body, no matter how hard someone tries, it's not going to enter unless you give it permission to do so, which is really freaking awesome. So ultimately, that means that you can offer Reiki to someone going through a hard situation or scenario that you love, and they can free will accept or deny. You don't have to worry about disrespecting boundaries or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. I definitely ask my friends, my family members, if I can send them Reiki over distance. Once you get to level 2, you're able to do that. We'll talk a little bit more about that soon. But ultimately, you never have to worry about if it's causing any harm, right? It's guided by spiritual consciousness. It's not attempting ever to do harm to anyone, anything, any being, right? And it goes where it needs to go, and it will adjust itself to create an effect that is appropriate. It's always helpful and it's always safe. It never depletes your energy. When you are offering sessions to someone, the beautiful thing is that you aren't sending your own energy into that person, right? If any of you are energy workers here and you aren't attuned or ignited into Reiki and you just use your own life force energy, how depleted do you get after sessions? I would love to hear it. Drop it in the comments below. But if you are offering a Reiki session, the beautiful thing is that not only does it charge the person up that is receiving the session, but it charges you up too, right? Since you are not using your own life force energy to give the session and you're connecting to the infinite wellspring of energy from spirit, from spiritual consciousness, it energizes rather than depleting you. So after Reiki, I have to be aware I can't do sessions too late because I'll come home and I'll literally talk my fiance's ear off. And he's like, I'm half asleep. What is happening? Right? So it's really beautiful in that way. And it can heal past scenarios and situations, even from past lives. If you don't believe in that stuff, totally cool. No worries. I do. It's something that I know that rings true in my being. It's okay if you don't. But not only can it heal you in this current moment where you're at now and the traumas and the issues that are held in your tissues, but it can also be sent to past situations, scenarios to heal that issue in that time and bring greater ease into your being in this present moment. Same with past lives, right? I know for me, I've had a lot of crazy past lives and I've sent Reiki to them and it's helped dislodge the energy in my body now, right? Another wonderful thing is that it's amazing for all ages and animals. Animals love Reiki. If you become attuned to Reiki, honestly, animals and children are going to start flocking to you if you're in right relationship with this practice. Kids always love me. Always. I don't think I've ever met a kid that's like, nope, don't like her. I mean, the mermaid hair most likely helps, but animals too. Animals come right over to me. I'll put my hands on them and they're just like, yes, and melt into me and they sleep, right? Even if it's an animal that I've never met or never seen, it's amazing. So for all of you animal lovers, drop a little emoji of one of your favorite animals if you're excited about that. And as I say that, one of my cats is walking over to me, but it can also be used on plants, on crystals, on technology. If your computer's not working, you can do Reiki on it. It's amazing. They all soak it up and they love it. And the thing is babies, toddlers, children, they're magnetized to it. Like I just shared, they're going to love soaking it in, soaking it up. And the beautiful thing is they don't need as much as adults do. Their systems are smaller, unless it's a really big dog or you have some kind of crazy wild cat, right? Ultimately, they soak it up. They don't need a ton of time for it, but it is so good for them. And as I mentioned before, it works well with medical care. Reiki has been incorporated into hospitals for almost 100 years. It began in Japan, where Dr. Usui, who created the Usui lineage, began sharing it in medical centers. And they even created a whole Reiki center that was focusing on learning how to treat different medical issues with Reiki itself. Cancer, so many different eye issues, liver damage, kidney damage, all these different things. And it's now even used in most states. I won't say all because it's not used in every single state, but especially in Massachusetts hospitals and hospitals around the world to support their clients in healing faster and having a better experience inside the hospital, feeling better mentally. It's a really beautiful thing that they're offering. And now, if you have any questions about otherwise how it can, why Reiki and how it can help you, let me know. But how can you become certified? This is a really, really important piece. And though I know some of you might not be drawn to become certified, I find it very, very important to share on this because you want to make sure that you find someone that's in integrity with this practice or in right relationship with this practice. I say this because there have been so many people in my own community that have come to me, whether I met them through old yoga studios that I used to teach at or in my own yoga studio and wellness hub space. I have met so many people that have shared with me that their Reiki master that they started working with, or a Reiki practitioner that they started working with, were getting this weird energy of like, no, you need to stay, you need to do more, and all these things, just trying to get more money out of them, is the energy and the frequency that they felt in these exchanges, right? So with that, we need to find people that are in right relationship and live this practice daily, right? Whether they're just sharing sessions on a daily basis, whether they're going out into the world and sharing from their heart just this Reiki healing experience with others in the world, whatever it may be. But they need to be grounded within their practice. They need to have a good relationship with money and with their clients. And you want to make sure that you can check in with other people and they have a phenomenal track record based on word of mouth, based on their business already. Look at their reviews, look and check in, maybe even message some of their previous students to see where they're at, right? And if you see any red flags, that's like, oh, well, if you're going to come in to do a Reiki training, you have to do a session first, or, all these different things, just watch out. Okay. You want someone that is going to be there to serve you, to give from their wellspring of their heart to you, and not worry about just pulling money out of your pockets to level up themselves financially. Right? You want to find someone that's healed their money story and is getting a little better on that front. Now, with that being said, the beautiful thing is that anyone can become certified. So you don't have to have any prereqs or prerequisites in order to come into a Reiki training. But you do need to find a Reiki master that you align with, that you're down with. You're like, this is my chick, this is the guy, I need to work with them. Right? Whatever codes or frequencies that they carry within you that light you up, go to them, follow your heart. Okay. And then maybe try out a session with them, right? I highly recommend trying out a session with a Reiki master before diving into an upcoming training with them, just to make sure the way they practice is something you want to learn. Right? I know that tons of my clients that come in to, or my trainees that come into my certification programs, majority of them have had Reiki sessions with me, if not one, many over years. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are able to go in, receive a session from them if that feels like your path, so that you can make sure that they're practicing in a way that feels responsible and in right relationship with your heart. Because if you sign up for their training and then you get trained and you're like, wow, I didn't really learn a lot, I didn't like that, I like the last Reiki practitioner that I worked with more, you might have wasted money. And no one wants you wasting money, time, or energy. That shit is gold, okay? More so your time and your energy is a currency of gold, right? And then you can go ahead and sign up for an upcoming training with them. Ask them like, hey, when's your level 1 training coming up, or your level 2, or your Reiki masters? I really want to work with you and I want to deep dive, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead, just ask them at the end of your session, right? And be super discerning. Like I said, if there are any red flags that come up in regard to it, if they're in full-on scarcity mode, trying to be like, oh, well, that's extra, you need to pay this in addition, and there was no mention of it before you started the training or before you signed up, you need to make sure that like they're real, they're legit, and they are able to ground themselves into this practice. Okay. So if you've ever worked with a Reiki practitioner that you didn't love, go ahead and drop like a red X or just like a not so fun emoji, one that you don't really enjoy, because I would love to, hear a little bit more about that experience. And if you feel called to share, go ahead, pop it in the comments, because I know like I've had sessions in the past that I'm like, that was okay, wasn't the best, but I've been lucky. I've been able to stay away from those icky healer archetypes. And I hope you have too, but if you haven't, I apologize. All right. So now If you are still with me, go ahead and drop a little heart emoji in the comments. Let me know if you're excited to receive a Reiki healing activation right here, right now. And I know we're going a little bit over time, so please do excuse that. I totally respect your time and I want to honor you, but I just want to make sure you really get this. Yay, 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 yay. All right. So if you are ready to receive the Reiki Healing Activation, go ahead, either sit up tall, lengthen through your spine, roll your shoulders back and down the spine, or allow yourself to recline onto your back body. Whatever allows you to come into the deepest sense of comfort within your body, I invite you to go there now. Beautiful. Yes. So whenever you find yourself in a comfortable position, if it feels safe for you, an invitation to go ahead and begin to soften your eyelids. Maybe you close them completely, or maybe you leave your eyes slightly cracked open, staring at one unmoving point, if that feels safer for you in this moment. And when you arrive here, with the backs of your eyelids softened, begin by taking a nice deep inhale through your nose, expanding through your abdomen, through your chest, your rib cage as completely as you can. As you exhale, sigh the breath out the mouth, releasing through the jaw. We're going to take that 2 more times. Inhale, fill up fully. Exhale, pour it out. Inhale, expand. Exhale, let it go. Then begin to allow your breath to sway evenly, perhaps through your nostrils, if that feels comfy and cozy for you. And begin to draw your awareness to your third eye center. And I ask that this holy fire, Reiki healing energy, flows directly from Great Spirit, from God, down into me and into every single person that is watching this activation, both live and on the replay. May it infiltrate them potently, powerfully, and awaken them to their power, allowing them to step into a great expansion within themselves and honor the worth that is encapsulated within them. And as your awareness is at your third eye, take a nice deep in breath here. Breathe deeply into this space. Invite yourself to soften just a little bit more. Softening through your eyelids, through your jaw, through your pelvis. If there's anything coming into your awareness from the subconscious mind, even if it's heavy, even if it's full of grief or shame, attempt to breathe into it. And as you breathe into it, invite yourself to open your arms in your sacred imagination. Open your arms to embracing and accepting this peace that is ready for you to see. Breathe into that sensation of accepting, of seeing this moment of grief, of shame, of frustration, of anger, of giving away your power. Breathe into it. And as this Reiki healing energy seeps into you, begin to embrace by wrapping your arms around within your sacred imagination. Wrap your arms around this moment. These moments, if there's multiple. And envision that this moment, these moments are dripping down to the earth like water, like tears shedding from your being, melting into a space of greater ease, of opening your third eye to your power. Notice the sensations within your mind, within your third eye or your body, as you allow this to drip away. And on your next exhale, allow your awareness to drop down into your heart. As you allow your awareness to come into your heart space, breathe fully and completely into this center. As you breathe in, imagine that it's expanding your heart, expanding your capacity to feel and open to all that your life experience has been. Opening yourself to see that these wounds that you've moved through, that have occurred within your life, these are for you to bring in to a space of wisdom. With every in-breath, your container of your heart is expanding, pressing closer to the inner side of the rib cage, opening the heart, clearing out old victimhood, anything that needs to wash away, let it melt. Open your heart to receive. On an exhale, allow your awareness to come down to the space just below your sacrum, your sternum. Allow it to come below the sternum to your solar plexus. And you may feel your solar plexus anywhere between the space below the sternum to your navel or your belly button. This is the seat of your inner power, of your ego, both healed and unhealed. And in this space, visualize flames that are burning away this old energy, this space that for some reason, somehow isn't deeming yourself worthy of the experiences you want, of the lifestyle you crave, of your God-given, divinely placed desires. Allow these flames to burn that away, to purify, to release, to remove these old paradigms. And on your next in-breath, take a nice deep sway in through the nostrils, completely filling up your abdomen with breath. As you exhale, sigh out the mouth, soften the shoulders and the jaw even more. Let's take another inhale just like that. Exhale, pour it out. Lovingly place one hand over your lower abdomen or your solar plexus space, wherever you may feel it desires to go. Place the other over your heart. Begin to bow your chin in towards your chest, knowing that this code of worthiness is now available to you, and that you have the power to divorce yourself continuously through every moment of every day from the old story. And you have the power within you to choose this new story of worthiness that has been infused into your frequency. And I bow to you. I bow to the light, the power, the worth that resides within your being, within every single one of your cells. I bow to you and hope that you honor your worth, that you see your worth, and let it radiate into every single moment of every day. Let it radiate out of your being into your surroundings, so that you can be a beacon of light for the others around you too. And whenever you feel ready, you can slowly begin to flutter your eyelids open and welcome yourself back to the screen. And I would absolutely love to hear how that was for you if you're still here with me live. I'd love to know how that felt within your being, within your body, and just know that some of you might have felt that. If you're really energetically sensitive, you might have felt that very deeply on a physical layer, on a mental layer, on a frequency layer. And if you aren't super sensitive, this might be something that is working only within your subconscious, and that's okay too. Okay? So please do share how that was for you. I'd love to read. And be sure to make sure you drink a lot of water. If you need a sip now, go ahead and grab one. And now is some time for some Q&A. So I would love to hear any questions that you have in regard to Reiki, so that I can support you in answering them right here, right now. Feel a lot of stuff moving through my third eye, so bringing myself back too. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with me. There's always a little lag when it comes from Zoom to streaming into Facebook, so feel free to drop your questions. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love that you felt the heat rising up within you, that it felt grounding and very cleansing. Yes, let that shit go with the fire. Let it go in the flames. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, and please continue to share. If you're here and you want to share, go right ahead. I would love to know how that felt for you. And if you're just tuning in, don't worry, you'll be able to catch the replay later. But if there are no questions right now, no worries at all. We're going to go into talking about just some upcoming Reiki trainings in the case that you're interested in joining with me to go ahead and share Reiki with the world and step into becoming a healer so that you can help raise the earth consciousness to the new earth frequencies. Oh, Crystal, good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you were able to make it too. Honestly, Holy Fire Reiki is just like a nice cozy blanket, a warm hug, a nest. And as a Scorpio whose soul was crafted in the underworld, I love it with all of my beating heart because it really is just so cozy, so relaxing, so warming. So with that, this is why I want to share these trainings with you. Now, if you don't feel called to go ahead and step into sharing Reiki, that's okay. You never have to become a certified practitioner unless you really feel the call within your soul and you feel divinely guided to do so. Now, there are multiple ways to get trained, and there are different reasons as to why to do different levels of Reiki. Oh yeah, there's always more stuff that needs to fly with the fire. That was just a quick little activation. So I'm sure there's more behind it, but ultimately, yes, absolutely. It's stirring things up. You might see some things move through within the next few days. So don't be surprised. But I want to share with you level 1 Reiki. When you become ignited, this is the term that we use in Holy Fire Reiki. If you're trained in something else, you might have heard attuned, right? So if you are wanting to join me in these trainings, either at my wellness hub and studio, Little Lotus Training Co. in North Brookfield, Massachusetts, wonderful, or you can join me online. We make it nice and easy for you. But ultimately, level 1 attunes you or ignites you so that you can offer Reiki in person. So if someone was here with me or my cat's here with me, I could offer Reiki to them in person. And ultimately, you can use it on yourself. You can use it on families, friends, loved ones, animals, XYZ. And that is basically the underlying basis of level 1. If you want to offer it to plants, to crystals, to things in your local proximity, your technology, you absolutely can. And I have an upcoming training this weekend, and there's only 3 spots left. So if you want to join me and hop in on that training, feel free. I'll go over how to enroll in just a moment, but I would absolutely love to have you inside of that training. And once again, either online via Zoom or in person, and it's recorded on Zoom. So if you need to miss it for any reason, don't worry. All right. Then level 2. Level 2 allows you to offer Reiki not only in person as level 1 does, but it also allows you to do so over time and distance, like how I'm sharing it with you through the frequency of this masterclass. I'm sharing it with all of you online, and a lot of you felt tangible things. Maybe some of you didn't, and that's totally okay, but a lot of you did, right? So that's the potency of level 2 Reiki. You're able to offer it over time, distance, and the beautiful thing is you can offer it to the past, you can offer it to the future, all these different timelines, right? So that when I talk about past life healing, level 2 is where it's at, is where you'd want to get to if you want to do past life healing. That is level 2. And you can also, in level 2, I train my students in how to utilize crystals inside their sessions also. Once again, my upcoming level 2 training is the 26th and 27th of this month. And don't worry if you can't make these. I have other upcoming ones throughout the year if you feel called to work with me. If you don't feel called, no freaking worries. You're meant to go be trained by someone else. That's totally fine. And then level 3, or the master level ignition, is what allows you to train other practitioners. It's a beautiful thing. It allows you to up level like nothing else. And it's truly, truly, truly beautiful. Now, with that being said, it might not be for you. Maybe you do level 1 and 2. Maybe you're like, I don't really want to teach XYZ. That's totally fine. But you also have a deeper level of the frequency within your body, and you learn more symbols inside of the Reiki Master training that is really, really potent. So that might be something that you might want to utilize. And I have an upcoming training happening March 12th, 13th, and 19th from 12 to 8 p.m. EST, once again, online or on Zoom or in person, right? So if you have any questions, please do feel free to drop them in the comments. But all in all, the beautiful thing about Reiki is that it can awaken you to your spiritual gifts. And this is something that I focus on inside of my trainings, is on enlivening and pulling out my students' spiritual gifts that are held within them, or what we talk about as the clairs: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, all of those clairs. There's 5 of them. And in that, sorry, just a comment, we allow you to open this, right? So we open these things within you so that you can tune in and offer really potent, powerful transmissions to your clients too. And when I say that, what I mean is throughout the duration of a session with a client, I am literally doing Reiki on them and then channeling messages, and I write them down and I give them their paper at the end of a session, and it's usually at least a full front page completely filled, sometimes the whole back page too, and it's their little home play. They get to go home and do different things to work on that Spirit's guiding them to. That's my own personal way of doing it. I'm a channeler, right? That might not be yours, but we'll help you figure it out inside of these trainings. All right. And I saw a session. Yes, Andrea, I'll get back to you because that's a more personal question. But ultimately, if you want to enroll, this is how you do so. Like I said, I only have 3 spots left in this weekend's training. So if you want to join me, hop on that ASAP. But all in all, message me on Facebook, right? Go over to my profile, message me. You can literally click my name right now and go message me and be like, Reiki training, right? And then let me know if you are certified in another layer or level of Reiki. And if not, let me know where you're at there so that I can send you the appropriate link, okay? Then you can go ahead. Once you click the link, you can go purchase it online, and voila, celebrate, because you are inside the training. I will send you all of the necessary material to get you inside and make sure that you are all situated and set up to take that training with me. And I would be so humbled and honored to have you inside of it. This is really one of my biggest passions and one of my favorite things to share. I love sharing a lot of holistic techniques, but honestly, Holy Fire is what really woke me up on my spiritual path alongside of plant medicines. And it just is something that I hold so near and dear to my heart. So I would absolutely love to share it with you. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you from the core of my being. I trust that this served you well. Please feel free to reach out to me, message me, contact me. If you want my email, let me know. We can chat via email, but I'm happy to support you along your journey. And I would be absolutely honored to train you and help you to awaken to your spiritual gifts, your inner guide, your intuition, and step into your power and your journey of becoming a healer. And with utmost gratitude and love from my heart to yours, thank you for your time, for your energy. I know we went way over. My apologies there. I guess it just needed to be longer than I thought. Tends to be the case. But thank you so, so much for joining me. And please, once again, reach out if you have questions, if you want to dive into this training, whether level 1, 2, or 3, I would be honored to support you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I look forward to connecting further soon. Bye, everyone.